Okay, guys, I'm back and I'm happy to say that everything ran fantastically well. The game is brilliant. I really enjoyed playing it. And what you may not realize is just how much we've actually covered and what you've learned while doing this. We've learned how to import 3D models, we've learned about animation, we've learned about applying textures to models, downloading and importing Vuforia, connecting to assets from the asset store, building a 3D environment, messing with a canvas, animating the canvas, sound effects, game logic, C sharp code if you've never come across C sharp code, applying small effects like shadows to game objects and things. We've learned how to make a bird translate and follow after a moving target and then play sound effects whenever the target is close enough to hit the bird, or the other way around. We've also learned how to tap into Vuforia's trackable event handler and added a custom static boolean that will tell us whenever we want to turn on and off the AR gaming experience. Not to mention, we got around the actual problem that a lot of people are having at the minute, where in Unity 2017.2, in the new build settings, there's the issue with the XR settings, and we figured out how to turn that on and off for different scenes. We've learned about coroutines, we've learned about vector 3s, we've learned about IEnumerators. And one of the most difficult things for people to get their head around is raycasting. We learned how to only detect items on a specific layer and how to adjust the length of the laser fired to correspond with the bounds of the game. There's so many things that we've actually covered and we've been having fun doing it. Okay, a couple of times I made the odd mistake, but it's coding, that's what happens. And I purposely leave things like that into the videos and don't edit them out so that you don't feel alone if you run into similar kinds of problems. So the only thing that I could probably change a little bit on my own personal version of the game would be to go into the scene and into the main game and make it a little bit bigger just for my own personal experience, so that when I held my phone over the image target, it actually filled the full table in front of me, which I think from my personal experience would be kind of cool. I mean, your sizing will be completely different to mine, but just in case you want to do the same kind of thing, I'll show you how you do it. Now, the image target itself has the child landscape items. All what you need to do is adjust the size of the landscape in relation to the image target. So you just scale everything up to make it bigger. Effectively, you can make everything bigger and smaller. So in relation to the image target, which is about 6 grid units across based on my settings, then everything can just simply be scaled up and you can make it as big as you want. You could make it so if you took a photo, held the phone over the image target and it was on A4 paper, then in relation to that, you could even scale the game up to be about 10 meters wide in the real world. So you'd be pretty much playing in the game itself rather than just looking through and at a smaller version on a surface in front of you. I mean, the possibilities are endless. You can change the sound effects. You could add additional characters here and animate them walking around. You could make more particle systems. Go and go and go and go at it. This is just the foundation, guys. And for me personally, it's been so much fun putting this together. Now, as a mini bonus, what I'm going to do is give you a quick heads up on how you would actually get this into the Google and App Store if you wanted to. Now, I don't cover it in depth on this course, as that's not what the course is, but I will help you out with pointing you in the right direction. Now, if you're on Android, in the build settings, first thing you need to do is take off development build, and then you go to the player settings. Now, in the publishing settings, what you would need to do is attach something called a key store. Okay? Now, if you don't already have one, you would click Create Key Store and choose a password. You could see this as a user login that is allowed to actually export the APK. So press return and then come down here. browse key store, sorry. And what this will do is it will save a user.keystore file inside the correct folder. Okay? Now once that's done, you can then create the new key and fill out your credentials. This means that you'll be an active authorized developer for this particular application. And when you upload to the Google Play Store, then you will need to upload this file, and it will mean that you are authorized to update the application later on if you want to. So I'll just call it Duck Hunter. That can be the name of the person. And there we go. I'll choose a password. Make sure you don't forget the password, or you will not be able to update this in the future. If you wanted to bring out maybe a sign in with Facebook or some kind of social media, share this game with your friends link, and you wanted to update the version of the app, then you would need to have this key store and this exact password to be able to do that. Now, city, I'm currently in Barcelona, and the province is also Barcelona, and the country code is 34. Okay, so as long as I remember my password, I'll be good to go. So create the key. Now, that will save that file, and when I want to export this for the App Store, I need to sign this in the publishing settings with my key. I put the password in that I've just created and click Build. This will then overwrite my APK file with the newest version, including the key store sign in my name with my password. Okay, so while that's doing that, I'll just quickly jump across to Google for a second. And what I want you to do is type in Google Developer Console, okay? And it's this link here. So I'm already logged in. If you're not logged in, you'll be forced to log in first, okay? And this is the Google Play Developer Console. So these are a bunch of applications that I've published a while ago under this account. Now, I need to create a new application. I choose the default language. I can call it Duck Hunter AR and create the bundle. Okay, now I have a bunch of triangles as warnings, and these are the steps that I need to go through. So the first thing I need to do is fill out a description and a more detailed description and upload a bunch of default graphics. Now it has links to different places for the different sizes of the graphics. Here, look, and anything with a star is required. Now, if you have a YouTube video, you can put that in there as a promo, and be careful selecting the category for your application. Once you've filled this out, you can save it, then go through all the different sub-menu items here that are relevant to your application. When it's done, you need to go to App Releases and upload a beta version here. Now, that's where you upload the APK file. Once it's been uploaded as a beta, then you'll be able to move it into a production level and then submit it to the App Store. The guys over at Google will then make sure that the app isn't doing anything illegal or anything like that, and provided you meet their terms and conditions, you will have the app live in the Google Play App Store. And then when we go over to Google Play, here we go, and we click on Apps, you will be up here somewhere, hopefully, in the future. Now, one thing to consider is with Vuforia, you have to have a specific license for commercial use of the software. Okay, now, quickly, I'll just jump across to iOS. Now, you would go to Build Settings, switch to iOS, and do a build, which would open up in Xcode. Now, if I open up the existing one in Xcode, which is the Duck Hunt AR, what you would do in here is, rather than running it to my device, I will go to Product and Archive, and that will bundle the application ready for submission to the iTunes Apple App Store. So it's under Product and Archive, okay? Once that's been done, then a menu will pop up over the top, which will ask for a bunch of certificates to make sure that you're authorized to do this. Now remember, with the iTunes version, you would need to click here and make sure under the General tab that you are signing it as yourself. Okay, unfortunately, Google Play and submission to the Google stores is completely free, but you need to enroll in the Apple Developer Program to be able to release into the iOS market. And unfortunately, it's about €80 or about $90. Now, the way that you would do that is you would go across to Apple Developer Program and simply follow their instructions on here. Okay, so what you'd have to do is click the Enroll button here and follow their procedure. Now, once you've got a developer account, this is the overall dashboard for the Apple developer account. So what I need to do is add a certificate and make sure that I've added a bundle ID for a new app, which will generate a new certificate for me. Here I have a certificate. I also need to add an Apple ID for the new app. So in Apple IDs, if I click here, this is where I would add my Duck Hunt AR game. And then down the page, I would enter the bundle ID that we set inside Unity, which would be com.argamer.duckhunt in my particular case. I would then come down to the bottom, choose whatever services are relevant and continue, and register the app. So now I have an app ID as an identifier. What I then need to do is make sure I have a provisioning profile. Now I need one for distribution. So I would add my distribution certificate. Now here I would choose for iOS development and for the App Store and continue. I would then choose the bundle ID I want a provisioning profile for and continue again. And all I have to do is give it a profile name. So DH Duck Hunt, for example. Okay. Continue. And I can download and install the profile there. So like I said, in Xcode, when you click Archive, you will then be presented with a pop-up box that asks you for the provisioning profiles and the bundle app ID. So once we have these two, and I just click Done for a second, there we go. Now if I went into iTunes Connect, the two will be connected. And I can add the new app here, and I can choose the bundle ID for the AR Gamer game that we've just made. I'll put it to English, call it Duck Hunt, and it's for iOS. The SKU is just a product name, so I'll just call it Duck Hunter, so I can identify what it is and click Create. Oh, it says that's already been used, Duck Hunt AR. There we go. So now I've created the app. So now we're presented with a similar scenario as we were inside Google, where we would have to just fill all the boxes out, go down the list, and when we finish this, we go across, and complete everything that's required from Apple's website's point of view. Now, iTunes Connect is tied directly to my provisioning profile. That means that if we open up Xcode again for a second, here we go, and open up the Duck Hunt AR, that is this profile here. So now I've connected the two together. If I go to the product and archive, it will now build this ready for submission to the App Store in a .app file format. I'll then be presented with the pop-up box, and now I've created a bundle ID on the website, and I've also created a distribution profile. All I have to do is sign the bundle and then click the submit button. Now, the difference between Apple and Google at this point is you can expect a response from Google within about 2 or 3 hours, and if it's approved, then you go live straight away into the Google App Store. If you submit a bundle to iPhone, expect to wait up to about a week for them to review the app and get back to you. Now, provided you don't have any problems with the app, then everything should be fine and it should go live. The one thing that they do require is that the app itself has all the correct graphics. So if I come down the page, we can see app icons and launch images. So if I were to actually submit this now, it would probably fail. But if I click this arrow here, that will take me through to where we can add the app icons for the Apple App Store. So by default, as a bare minimum, it needs an iPhone app icon, and that will be 1024 by 1024. Now, while that's doing that, if I just jump to Google and I type in app icon maker and I click make app icon here, this is a fantastic little website where you can upload one graphic and it will create, here look, all we have to do is choose the icon, and like I said, make it about 1024 by 1024 as a bare minimum, then choose the file, and then it will email you all the required icons in a zip file. Now, like I said, this isn't really part of the course. I just wanted to help you guys out. It's a mini bonus, really. So now that we've archived it, I've been presented with a pop-up. I would then validate the bundle and then upload to the App Store. So this is how you do it for Apple. And like I said, 9 times out of 10, if anything goes wrong, it would be in the validation and the upload process, where it would say something like the icons are missing, or it requires additional launch images or something like that. Now, Unity has exported a bunch of graphics as a base, but they are just blank. If you want to put a splash image onto the loading screen of the phone, then you'd have to create that in Photoshop at the right dimensions and upload it there. Now, like I said, it's just a quick bonus overview look for you guys. Not really part of the course, just trying to help. I just wanted to throw it in right at the end of the video, just in case any of you guys had any questions on how you do that. Okay, brilliant. That's it then, guys. Fantastic. I just want to say thanks for taking the course. I've really enjoyed putting together this retro classic, and I hope you have great fun duck hunting away in augmented reality. So feel free to show your friends, post any videos in the question and answer section. I'd love to see how your game looks and what your environment and your world looks like. And if you like the course, leave a review and check out the other courses that I do on Udemy. Just simply go to the Udemy website and type my name into the search bar, and you'll be able to see the other courses that are up there. Brilliant. Fantastic, guys. Thanks a lot. I'll see you soon.